Yeah, I know. She's so hot right now.
Hey guys, just looking at the DPS rankings for, of course, patch 735. Targets for 1. Things do switch for targets for 3. 3 or more anytime. And this is for eye level 960. And this is for real encounters, not maximum encounters. And we'll go into the 930, because the majority of us are in between 930 and 960. So this is the patch rankings for up to 3 targets. Um, this would be Demonology Warlock seems to be in there. Elemental Shaman are pretty close. And as you can see, Assassination Rogue, believe it or not. Wow. Frost Mage is right up there. And a majority of the encounters, Fire Mages and Arcane Mages, are down towards the bottom. Of course, the Outlaw Rogue is way, way down there at the very bottom of the list. But this is for 3 targets. Majority of the fights have ads that you're going to have to kill. But if we're just doing 1 target and we're just saying, hey, we're doing real encounters, I'm at that 930 threshold. These are the kind of numbers that we're looking at. Once again, Demonology Warlock is far superior both inside of the 3 and the 1, and also they are far superior in the 930 and also in the 960 category. So if you are a Demonology Warlock, you should be running circles over the top of a majority of the people who play the game if you're a DPSer. It also makes it really hard for you to parse, I would imagine, because the competition's pretty stiff. But anyways, if we're looking at single target right around 930 and we're looking at real, not maximum, inside of an encounter with just 1 boss, once again, Demonology Warlock, then Unholy Death Knight for whatever reason. Some of this is a little bit of a surprise to me. Enhancement Shaman, Havoc Demon Hunters, like right around 4th spot. But as you can see, these things kind of really shallow out. Like, the difference in between 1.375 versus 1.377, that's just really nominal. There is a little bit of a difference in between when you're going from the Fury Warrior with a 3.7 to a Havoc Demon Hunter with a 3.4, because just 1.4 looks better mathematically. It's more pleasing to the eye. But once again, I mean, Havoc Demon Hunters are like neck and neck with Enhancement Shaman, and not too far behind Unholy Death Knights DKs. But once again, Demonology Warlock has pretty much all owned, and that's no surprise. Has pretty much all owned the DPS output for a majority of the fights. And believe it or not, I was really surprised about this one. Survivalist Hunter on single target, if you're right around that 930 rank, you're up there. I was wondering how come I seen like 1 or 2 of those guys inside of some of the things. But of course, things will change after 930 and you move into the 960. A lot of these stats kind of move all over the place. Assassination Rogue, that was also a surprise to me. Um, and then, as you go down there, Beastmaster Hunter, that was a way surprise to me for single target at that 930 level to be that low on the totem pole. And as we know, Outlaw Rogue is pretty much follows stable. It's going to be at the very, very bottom of the list for like all fight encounters. Let's look at that 960 one more time. We're looking at the patch rankings with the current tier gear. This is taking in effect that you have the current tier gear on. So if you're at a 960 level, that means that you probably have at least bare minimum of a 4-piece from heroic. And these are kind of the numbers that we're looking at here. On single target fights, by the way. And like I say, these things vary because a lot of the fights you have ads that you're going to have to switch to. So when you're looking at things, you should be like, oh, well, it says Arcane Mage, but the second we move the encounter from 1, because it's saying Arcane Mage is in the top 6 spot, and Marksman Hunters in 7. And as you look, you see a lot of things like, wow, this looks really unique here. But a lot of the fights are going to be like 3s because you're going to want to melt those ads really fast. And so then you got the Demonology Warlock and behind it a Marksmanship Hunter. But the numbers behind it is far behind it. Like a Demonology Warlock is just train wrecking the current tier and the current raid. Like you're looking at 1 million in difference. All the other ones, they're all 2.7, 2.7. They're all right around each other. And that's also right when, if you're playing an elemental shaman, some fights you're going to do better in the raids and other fights you're not. That's just the way it is. And then Havoc Demon Hunter drops way the hell down there. So a lot of these things definitely change out severely depending on what the boss fight is. But the only person who is a staple in both the 3 and the 1 is a Demonology Warlock. And the only one who is a staple both at the 960 and 930, once again, is a Demonology Warlock. That seems to have not changed any iota. That, and also who's always at the bottom of the list, it's always an Outlaw Rogue at the very bottom of the list for both single target and multiple target, and also for both 960 and also 930. So